Everyone dies. That's the pitch. That's the entire business case. And it never needs a slide deck. A funeral home looks like the last recession-proof asset. Zero demand risk. A customer base that renews itself every day, forever. No competitor can convince people to stop dying. Here's the paradox. An industry with guaranteed eternal demand somehow runs some of the thinnest real margins in small business. You own a building full of grieving families with cash in hand and still net less than a car wash 3 blocks away. Explain that. Tier 1, bootstrapped, a single location home in a small town. Existing client list, aging equipment, $250,000 to $600,000. You're the director, the embalmer, and the phone at 2 a.m. Tier 2, regional, a multi-location operation with its own crematory and hospital referral relationships, $1.5 million to $4 million. Tier 3, institutional, publicly traded, death care consolidators buy up family-owned homes across entire states, keep the original name on the sign, and centralize everything behind it. Acquisition targets run 8 figures purely for the trust fund liabilities and land parcels attached. Here's the everyday metaphor. A funeral home runs like an all-inclusive resort, except the guest never leaves happy and never comes back to review it. The insider term is GPL, the general price list, the legally mandated menu of services every home must hand a client. The second term is cash advance items, third-party costs, like flowers that the home pays up front and marks up. Here's the counterintuitive fact. The casket, assumed to be the profit center, often carries the thinnest margin. Caskets are now price comparable online, so homes make their real money on the mandatory basic services of funeral director fee that appears on every GPL, regardless of casket choice. That fee is non-negotiable. It's where the margin actually lives. Walk into the building. Notice the lighting, warm and dim in the viewing rooms, brighter and clinical in the arrangement office where contracts get signed. That sequencing, grief clouds judgment, and the space is built to walk a family from shock toward a signature before anyone can shop 3 towns over. The invisible liability sits underground. Preneed trust funds, money paid years before a funeral happens, must sit untouched in state-regulated accounts until death occurs. An owner can hold millions in contracts that look like assets on paper, but are frozen for services delivered decades later. A balance sheet full of money you can see and can't spend. Now, the fatal flaw. Overhead here doesn't scale down. 3 burials a week pays the same lease, refrigeration, and licensing costs as 15. Volume is the only lever, capped by geography, not marketing. Case study 1, capital structure failure. Lowen Group, once North America's second-largest death care corporation, spent the 1990s debt financing acquisitions of independent homes at inflated multiple. When revenue growth failed to outpace debt service, it collapsed into Chapter 11 in 1999, one of the largest bankruptcies in Canadian corporate history. Case study 2, market mismatch. Cremation rates have climbed past 60% nationally, a service at roughly 1/3 the price of traditional burial. Homes built for burial-era volume, large viewing rooms, embalming infrastructure, hearse fleets, sat overbuilt for customers who now wanted a 1-hour cremation and nothing else, cratering per-client revenue. So here's the equation. Guaranteed demand multiplied by fixed overhead that can't scale down, divided by a fee structure customers can't shop under emotional duress, equals a business that looks bulletproof and runs on single-digit margins. Realistic net margin, industry-wide, 8 to 12%. Service Corporation International, the largest death care company in North America, didn't win by building more funeral homes. It won by consolidating thousands of small, trusted family names under one financial umbrella while leaving the storefronts looking exactly as they did 50 years ago. Nobody comparison shops a funeral home at their sharpest moment. The system is built around the guarantee that the customer never will be. Every week we pick another industry, another asset, another operation that looks like easy money from the outside, and we run the actual numbers. The businesses that handle the most cash in the world are rarely the ones that make their owners rich. If you want to know which ones actually do, subscribe. Mr. Net Worth, new breakdown every week.